I must confess, as a man who has worn many garments of earthly responsibility, emperor, philosopher, student of nature, and observer of human affairs, I have always found the quiet dance of human interaction worthy of profound reflection. In my time, presiding over the Roman Empire and striving to uphold the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, I often pondered the subtle signals that pass between individuals who share a certain spark of attraction. These signs have changed little through the centuries, for even though customs shift and languages evolve, human nature and the subtleties of affection remain constant. And thus, I believe it is fitting to speak frankly of these matters, for understanding them well helps one navigate the complexities of personal relationships with both wisdom and composure. As I, Marcus Aurelius, sit here reflecting in the quiet of my inner chamber, where papyrus scrolls and ink brushes wait at my side and a soft lamp flickers in the evening gloom, I recall these subtle yet unmistakable signals that a woman may be secretly drawn to you. Such signs were discernible in the palaces of Rome as much as they will be in future ages, at gatherings, in humble taverns, or grand halls. I will share them with you, just as I have observed them in my own time, and then I shall infuse these observations with the lens of Stoic philosophy, helping you understand and respond to these signs with calmness, kindness, and virtue. For though we are discussing the delicate matter of attraction, at the heart of all human interactions should lie integrity, respect for boundaries, and a grounded sense of self. Before I begin enumerating these signs, allow me to emphasize a core Stoic principle. We must learn to observe without judgment, to acknowledge what is without jumping hastily to conclusions. Just as one might study the drift of clouds in the sky or the motion of leaves in a gentle breeze, so too should we regard these signals dispassionately before drawing meaning from them. By acting thus, we maintain the inner equanimity so beloved of all sincere practitioners of philosophy. Sign 1. Increased attention and interest. In my experience, when a woman is secretly attracted, she often grants you the rare gift of her attention. Not all interest is created equal. Consider the difference. It is one matter when politeness dictates she smile briefly and ask a courteous question, but it is another when she seeks deeper discourse, remembers small stories you once shared, and shows genuine curiosity about the shape of your inner world. Imagine you are at a banquet, among the murmur of many voices. You notice that again and again, she finds her way to your side, inquiring about how your day has passed, what philosophies guide your judgments, or whether the event you mentioned attending last week brought you joy. A woman who recalls fine details, perhaps something as minor as the title of your favorite poem by the Greek poet Menander, or the story of your first encounter with a wise mentor, illustrates that her mind lingers upon your words long after you have spoken them. Stoicism teaches that we should note these patterns of remembrance, as they often point to something deeper than mere courtesy. Yet, we must not cling too tightly to expectations. Take comfort in your self-assurance. Her interest is a testament that she values your companionship. Acknowledge it. Appreciate it as a gentle breeze upon the soul, but remain balanced. Let neither elation nor anxiety rule you. Sign 2. Physical closeness and touch. Physical closeness has always been a strong indicator of interest. My memory drifts to a garden gathering under olive trees, where I observed a noblewoman consistently choosing a seat beside a certain senator rather than across from him, despite ample space elsewhere. She leaned in closely when he spoke, and on occasion let her fingertips lightly graze his sleeve under the pretext of adjusting a fold or dusting away imaginary lint. These subtle touches were not grand gestures, but gentle nudges that signaled comfort and admiration. In my day, as in yours, human beings unconsciously draw nearer to those they find pleasing and desirable. The Stoic in us must note these small encroachments of personal space without assigning them immediate meaning. When a woman makes a habit of standing near you, lightly brushing your hand, or finding excuses to be at your side, it is a sign of increased comfort and trust. She might lean forward as you speak, her eyes attentive, her posture open and receptive. As a Stoic, acknowledge these signals calmly, respecting her boundaries, and refraining from making hasty assumptions. Interpret them as what they are, possible indications of warmth and interest, but never something to seize upon with untamed passion. We hold fast to our virtue, responding with sincerity and kindness, not presumption. Sign 3. Mirroring and matching behavior. Allow me to recount a small event in the imperial court. I observed a lady of refinement unconsciously imitating the hand gestures and tone of voice of a philosopher who intrigued her. When he used a certain phrase, she would later repeat it, weaving it into her own sentences. When he adjusted his posture, a few moments later, she too would shift similarly, as if guided by an invisible magnetism. This phenomenon, which we might call mirroring, emerges often without intention, reflecting a desire to establish rapport, harmony, and deeper connection. If you find that a woman adopts certain turns of phrase you often use, or that she aligns her posture and mannerisms with yours, take note. If she suddenly shares an interest in the music you love or suggests visiting places you frequently attend, it can be more than coincidence. From a Stoic perspective, we see these imitations not as flattery to revel in, but as insights into human nature's wish to resonate and bond. The wise course is to appreciate such mirroring as an echo of affinity without succumbing to vanity or immediate interpretation. Let it be a clue in the grand puzzle of understanding her feelings and respond with balanced gratitude. Sign 4. Frequent communication. When I was away on campaigns, separated from the palaces of Rome by many days' ride, I sometimes noticed that letters from a certain admirer would arrive more often than from others. She would find cause to write not only about matters of state, but to inquire after my health, comment upon some philosophical verse, or inquire if I had seen a certain constellation in the night sky. The frequency and warmth of her words revealed a deeper interest, a desire to maintain presence in my life, even across distance. In your age, communication may take many forms: brief written messages, notes on public forums, small symbols of acknowledgement on shared networks of discourse. When a woman consistently initiates contact, checks in on you, shares things that she thinks you may find amusing or enlightening, she is, in essence, keeping a part of you close to her thoughts. Stoicism teaches that we must not anchor our self-worth to these attentions, but we should appreciate their meaning. Frequent, thoughtful communication suggests that you occupy a favorable space in her mind. Yet remain even-keeled, my friend. Accept such contact as a sign of regard, not as a guarantee of what tomorrow may bring. Sign 5. Genuine compliments. Consider carefully the nature of compliments. Some words may be cast about lightly as one scatters seeds upon barren soil, mere politeness carried by social custom. Others, however, take root in honesty and admiration. A woman who is secretly drawn to you might not merely say, "Your toga is handsome today," but might observe and admire your dedication to virtue, your commitment to fairness, your unwavering kindness or strength of character. True compliments transcend superficialities. They highlight what is unique and noble within you. Such words reflect keen observation and sincere appreciation. I recall standing on a balcony overlooking Rome's streets, receiving a compliment from a woman who noted how calmly I handled a recent dispute between advisors, expressing admiration not merely for the outcome, but for the virtue and patience involved. This was no empty flattery. It was a sincere acknowledgement of character. As a Stoic, I embraced her words with a humble heart, knowing that true praise is a gift and a mirror. Let compliments warm you, but do not become dependent on them. Cherish them as tokens of authentic connection, while remaining aware that your worth depends not on external praise, but on living in accordance with reason and virtue. Sign 6. Nervousness and fidgeting. It might seem curious, yet nervousness can often betray admiration. In those days past, when I would enter a hall, I sometimes noticed certain individuals becoming uncharacteristically shy or fidgety in my presence, though I had done nothing to provoke alarm. In quieter moments, I discerned that it often arose from their desire to be thought well of, an understandable human response. A woman who blushes when you draw near, who stumbles slightly over her words, or who plays with her jewelry, her hair, or the edge of her garment as you converse, may be feeling the pleasant anxiety that accompanies affection. Such subtle signs reflect her perception of your opinion's value. From the Stoic standpoint, we must recognize and respond with gentle empathy. Do not exploit nervousness nor mock it. Instead, show patience. Soften the moment with a kind smile. Let her see that you appreciate her sincerity and thus help ease her worries. This kindness reflects the Stoic virtue of compassion, dispelling tension and promoting genuine understanding. Sign 7. Finding common interests. In my evenings spent discussing philosophy in Rome, I noticed that when a woman held silent admiration for a certain man, she might begin to take interest in his pursuits. If he favored certain poets, she would learn their verses. If he valued the quietude of the gardens in the Subura district, she might stroll there of her own accord, prepared to mention its tranquility and suggest a shared excursion. These are small but deliberate steps to share a world of meaning. As Stoics, we recognize that mutual interests forge deeper connections. If she listens to the same music you enjoy, takes up a sport you once mentioned in passing, or attends gatherings she knows you frequent, she is building bridges between your worlds. Understand this sign not as a manipulation, but as a gesture of goodwill, a readiness to learn and appreciate what pleases you. We must be grateful for this effort to find common ground. Acknowledge it, engage in shared pursuits if it pleases your reason, and nurture the bond with warmth and sincerity. Such alignment of interests brings two souls into closer harmony, a gift worthy of respectful recognition. Sign 8. Open body language. Among the Senate debates and formal receptions, I learned to read body language as if it were another form of rhetoric. A woman truly attracted will often display open, welcoming gestures, uncrossed arms, a relaxed posture, and a direct gaze that meets your eyes easily. A genuine smile, one that sparks in the eyes and not just on the lips, is a potent sign. Such openness stands in contrast to guarded or distant behavior. When she orientates her body toward you, her shoulders facing yours, her stance comfortable, and she responds physically to your humor or empathy, it reveals a comfort and desire to connect more deeply. By Stoic principles, we interpret these signals calmly. Do not presume too much, but recognize that genuine delight in your presence is revealed not only by words, but by silent, bodily poetry. Appreciate that her openness indicates trust and perhaps the budding bloom of admiration. Let it bolster your confidence, but remain humble and respectful, holding fast to your equilibrium. Sign 9. Making future plans. When someone includes you in their future imaginings, it is often a sign of genuine attachment. Let me think of a scenario from my memory. A woman I once knew would say to me, "Someday, we should walk together by the Tiber at sunset," or, "I would love to attend that next festival with you." Such statements gently weave a narrative where you both continue to meet and share experiences yet to come. To a Stoic, the future is uncertain. Yet when someone consistently invokes tomorrow and places you within it, they show that their thoughts extend beyond the moment, cherishing the possibility of ongoing companionship. You might find that she mentions exhibitions, concerts, or gatherings that have not yet occurred, always including you as if it were perfectly natural. In doing so, she grants you a subtle honor, an acknowledgement that your presence is not ephemeral. Note this kindness, and whether you reciprocate her vision of the future or not, respond with honesty and gratitude, never giving false hope if you do not share her feelings. The Stoic way is to welcome all sincere gestures with kindness, but remain faithful to truth and virtue. Sign 10. Protectiveness and support. Finally, I must speak of protectiveness and support, for they are the bedrock of truly caring relationships. Imagine a moment in the Roman Forum where a woman steps in to defend your name or to clarify your intent in a discussion turned hostile. Perhaps she discreetly checks on your well-being, offers gentle advice, or lends a helping hand with something important to you. This protectiveness arises not from duty alone, but from genuine fondness. When a woman invests herself in your challenges, celebrates your achievements, and shows concern for your hardships, she is communicating that your welfare matters deeply to her. Stoicism teaches us to value these signs and respond in kind. Recognize that true affection is often revealed less by grand declarations and more by consistent support and loyalty. Yet, keep your balance. Acknowledge her kindness, respond with sincerity, offer your own support in return, and let a sense of mutual respect guide your bond. Applying Stoic lessons to these signs. Having recounted these 10 signs, let us reflect on how to approach them with a mindset guided by Stoic philosophy. The world offers countless opportunities to lose ourselves in passion or assumption, but we can remain steadfast and rational. Observe without judging. As I often reminded myself, we must not let our minds leap to conclusions at the first hint of interest. A single kind gesture does not necessarily herald deep affection. Instead, wait and observe patterns over time. Seek consistency in her behavior. Like a farmer watches the sky for consistent signals of weather before sowing seeds, so too must you look for repeated signs before determining her feelings. This calm patience exemplifies the Stoic ideal of not being ruled by hasty impressions. Respect boundaries. Even if you sense that her attentions are genuine and warm, remember that mutual respect and dignity form the cornerstone of any virtuous relationship. Stoics always keep in mind the sanctity of individual autonomy. Her attraction does not entitle you to cross her boundaries or assume her desires. Approach each interaction with kindness and reverence for her comfort. If you ever doubt the propriety of your response, err on the side of caution, as it reflects your inner nobility. Respond with virtue. Suppose you recognize her interest. Then what? If you share her feelings, respond honestly, kindly, and without pretense. If you do not feel the same, express yourself gently and truthfully, never toying with her emotions or leading her astray. Virtue demands honesty and benevolence. Stoicism encourages us to be forthright without cruelty, to be compassionate without deceit. In this way, you maintain your integrity and honor the trust she has shown by revealing her interest through these subtle signs. When I consider the delicate dance of human attraction through the lens of my own experiences, I recall scenes in the imperial palace, in the Senate halls, and in the quiet gardens hidden behind tall Roman walls. Human nature is consistent. Men and women alike yearn to be understood, cherished, and respected. Knowing the signs of attraction allows you to navigate these interactions mindfully rather than blindly. By embracing these Stoic lessons, you ensure that you neither recklessly misinterpret signals nor miss the gentle cues that could lead to beautiful connections. A personal reflection. As emperor and philosopher, my life was far from ordinary. Yet in my quieter moments, away from the burdens of governance and the rumblings of distant wars, I would marvel at how something as simple as a gentle smile or a meaningful question could herald the beginnings of understanding and perhaps affection. Stoicism does not forbid love or passion. It only counsels us to hold them wisely without succumbing to chaos. Through patient observation, we learn to distinguish genuine warmth from fleeting courtesy. We become adept at responding to tenderness, not with proud arrogance or desperate attachment, but with a gentle, confident poise. An invitation to reflect. Now I invite you, my friend, to consider your own experiences. Have you ever encountered these signs of attraction from someone in your life? How did you respond in those moments? And how might you handle them differently now that you understand them through a Stoic lens? In truth, every meeting of eyes, every shared interest, every gentle touch is an opportunity to practice our philosophy. Treat these moments as exercises in virtue, chances to refine your understanding of human nature and to become a wiser participant in the dialogues of life. A woman's subtle signals of admiration present not only a potential bond between two individuals, but also a chance for each to grow in self-knowledge and moral character. Further engagement. Should you wish to delve deeper into these matters, how Stoicism can guide your heart as well as your mind, I encourage you to continue studying the philosophies of old. Read not only my Meditations, but also the works of Epictetus and Seneca. Reflect on how these lessons can be applied not merely to romantic intrigue, but to friendships, family relations, and all spheres of human engagement. Though I walked the marble corridors of palaces draped with tapestries, and you perhaps stroll modern streets or corridors of some distant future's architecture, we are united in our shared humanity. The principles that hold us steady in stormy weather also guide us through gentle breezes of affection and care. Attraction is but another aspect of life, and life is the playground of virtue, reason, and understanding. A final word of gratitude. I offer these reflections with sincerity and goodwill. If you find them useful, allow them to inform your behavior, granting you confidence and compassion as you navigate subtle signals of human connection. It is my hope that, guided by these Stoic insights, you may approach relationships with balance and clarity. Let attraction enrich your life, not rule it. Let it inspire gratitude, not arrogance. Let it foster deeper understanding, not confusion. May you remain mindful and composed as you walk this path. In your attentiveness and measured responses, you embody the Stoic ideal, calm in the face of uncertainty, kind in the face of vulnerability, and steadfast in the pursuit of virtue. Thus, I bid you go forth with a serene spirit, wise in the knowledge that human attraction, like all things, is but a part of nature's tapestry, to be observed, appreciated, and navigated with a noble heart.